Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the evening update. It is Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, guys. November the 28th, 2025. It's been an interesting day or two on X and in the news, just in general. And interesting and tragic and awful and frustrating and very upsetting. I think those are all good words for it. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are over the last 48 hours in the news cycle, but I am pissed. This show might go a little longer than a normal show, guys. I have a lot to cover. I even skipped over some of it, and I will cover that tomorrow on the weekly update. But guys, as Shell says, everyone, happy Friday, welcome, and repost the live. People, please repost the live. Get the word out there to your friends and family. Get the word out there to people that need it. Had an interesting debate with somebody at Thanksgiving dinner over the existence of sex and gender and the fact that one of them is a complete fabrication for insane people and the other one is biological truth. And then I questioned why that individual didn't believe in the science. Needless to say, they left the table not long after. MK, hello, welcome. Yep, everyone, I had a great Thanksgiving. It was wonderful. I had a grand old time. Karen says, hey, Shell, hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Yes, Karen, it was great. I got to interact with Alinda at the table. But the nice thing is the hosts of the evening had prepared me ahead of time, warned me that this person was going to be present, and did not interfere. So, no, I'm getting invited back. Karen, don't you worry. I even responded to them. Thank you very much for inviting me over text. I said, thank you. That was a 10 out of 10. Would attend again. It was a grand old time. But guys, first thing we're gonna do is pull up the profile. As always, please repost the space, everyone. Please share it out in all of your group chats. Please make sure to share it on Facebook, Tinder, your Kindle, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Grinder, whatever. Christian Mingle, Farmers Only. Like I don't judge. Just not on one of those Muslim websites. They probably hate me enough already. But guys, you can leave me a tip here. I would prefer your tip through X. Please, if you need to, super chats on YouTube are okay. I would prefer not, because a lot of the money goes straight to Google Alphabet, which I despise, and they have an awful platform. But if you must, you must. If not, please check over here on X and leave just your tip is all I require. I would appreciate it and enjoy it very much. Or you can check out the website, guys. This website was built for me by Sir Raj himself, the wonderful, the great. You can buy me a cup of coffee because I am a cheap coffee date. I am in the middle of a fast. We kicked off our fast today. So go ahead and I will bring it up again here in a second when we talk about our community. But yes, you can buy me a cup of coffee. I'm a cheap coffee date. You can also check out our merch. We're getting more merch added every week. I have a section on there now for Shell merch as well as for Karen merch. We'll get that updated here very soon. You can check out my Men's Empowerment Network website as well as Discord. You can check out my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel. Again, guys, if you can't afford to donate or support monetarily, that's perfectly okay. I understand, but you can, in fact, support by subscribing on YouTube and Rumble and following me on X, which is 100% free. So if you can't do anything else, please at least consider doing one of those. And then, guys, check out the community right here. We are at 15 members. We need that to get bigger. Only you can help make that happen. So go ahead and join. Our community is just starting today, post Thanksgiving, a fast. My goal is to go at least 5 days. We'll see how much longer we go. But I will not be eating solid food. I will not be doing anything that has an insulin reaction for the next at least 5 days. So we are posting pictures. They're pinned in the community of our starting weight, and we will keep track every day. So come join us. Come join the community. Come join our fast. It'll be great. Check out our live schedule as well. As you can see, I am actually live right now. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the evening update. You're here now. Tomorrow, Saturday for the weekly update. Topic exchange, Tuesday and Thursday, 8:45 p.m. And Sunday, The Strange Journey Through the Bible with Shell and Christina. Check that out at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time all. So thank you for your support, and we will see you there. First thing we're going to get in, guys, we have very large sections of immigration and others For some reason, none of my tabs wanted to stay loaded. I have so many loaded, the browser was getting mad at me. So bear with me and be patient. MK says, mine was great. Fantastic. West Virginia in the chat. Wonderful to see. Karen says, hi. Hope you had a nice turkey day. Karen says, I can't during the season of eating. I have goals. That's fair enough, if you will. My goal is to lose weight, not gain weight, Karen. So we are doing a fast, and we're going to see how long we can drag this out. I swear to God, if I can make it all the way to Christmas, I will. I have a goal weight, and it's not the 206 I'm starting at. So if you want to come hang out and participate, feel free. If not, that's fine. I won't judge you very much. But guys, we have this. We covered the story of Tyson Foods shutting down their plant in Nebraska. It's weird. As Mila Joy here points out, when a meatpacking plant sees an 80% of its workforce vanish in a single ice raid, who's really to blame? I would say the company is, but let's check this out. Oh, yeah. Real nice.
Hey, who's the
You know, it really makes me want to support them.
Yes.
Or not. Like, more likely not. Guys, when the entire place is employing illegals, that's not okay. If your business shuts down because of an ICE raid, your business should be taken from you. It should be shut down permanently. If you're not even going to hire Americans and you're not willing to hire legal immigrants, you don't deserve to be in business. That's kind of a hot take to some. I don't really care. If you're not going to hire citizens, at least hire legal workers. If your workers are 80% illegal, your business should be seized by the government, its assets liquidated and sold. I have no tolerance for this anymore. I just don't. I know we're supposed to care and we're supposed to feel bad about it, but I don't. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. You can rebut me in the chat if you wish. But next thing, we're going to get Elon reposting this so I can see it. Define L's. Schumer from 1996. I love almost nothing more than to play back videos of Democrats and what they used to say. So let's check this one out. Chuck Schumer from 96.
Thank the gentleman. Salute him for his work on this. Rise in support of the amendment. First of all, Social Security card is used from one end of America to the other as an identification card right now. Who are we kidding? If you want to pass a law and says it shouldn't be, I would ask the chairman and the distinguished minority member of the Social Security committee to pass that law. But let's admit the truth. Everywhere people go, they're asked for a Social Security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a Social Security card. This is an anti-fraud amendment.
Okay.
All over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others
Good question.
from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud.
Yeah, why is that?
And here,
Chuck?
the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on.
I'm sorry. Like I said, one of the things I enjoy the most is playing back old Democrat videos. Yes, we are mad about it. Yes, we think immigration is broken. Yes, we think the illegals are here utilizing services that they have no business utilizing. And there's even evidence of it. Yes, it makes us furious. Yes, we're $38.3 trillion in debt and growing. Yes, zero illegals should have access to zero benefits. If you are not here legally, you can F right off, and you should have access to zero support. If you want support, go beg your country of citizenship or origin for help. Don't come to us anymore. I'm done with it. As you can tell, I'm a little bit irritated today, and you'll see why as we keep going in the stories that we're covering. This one's fun, though. Federal agents sprinting after a leftist rioter after they were manhandled in Portland. Yeah, they're not just like waiting anymore. They're running after these people, and I voted for it, and I love it.
What the fuck was that?
That was called Consequences, my dear. You F around, you're gonna find out. Shell says you already know my stance on all this per our conversation earlier. That is also true. Yes, the ether comms are real, folks. Steve Loves Ammo, another account, wonderful. If you're not following it already, you are missing out, guys. But this post deserves a read. Sedan says Schumer argues both sides when he thinks it's useful. There is no principles or ethics. He will let it his way. Yes, none of the politicians almost have any ethics. None of them say the same thing consistently, almost. Both sides do it. Both sides are corrupt. Both sides are crooked and evil. This is not a Dem or a Republican problem, guys. This is a uniparty problem. Thank you for the comment, though, Sedan, very much. Thank you for supporting over on Rumble. Steve here. Here is why I'm angry and going absolutely nuclear. You don't open the southern border by accident. You don't mandate deadly vaccines by accident. You don't give money and weapons to the Taliban by accident. You don't leave Americans stranded in Afghanistan by accident. You don't arrest Americans protesting the results of an election by accident. You don't essentially eliminate the strategic petroleum reserves by accident. You don't send billions of unchecked money overseas while Americans are struggling by accident. You don't allow American troops to be attacked by Iranian-backed militants and not respond by accident. You don't allow Chinese balloons to spy on American bases and nuclear sites by accident. You don't release sanctions against Iran by accident. You don't install a Democrat nominee with 0 delegates by accident. You don't give more media attention to Trump's McDonald's visit over his two assassination attempts by accident. You don't hastily leave Afghanistan, ignore the intel, and let 13 American service members die by accident. You don't beg 51 and former intelligence officers to lie in a document stating Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation by accident. You don't allow unvetted foreigners into this country that are harming American citizens by accident. You don't have two-tiered justice systems for the simple fact of political persecutions by accident. You don't allow for rampant inflation, high fuel costs, and high grocery and taxes by accident. You don't use gain of function to enhance a bioweapon and release it into the population and profit of it by accident. Looking at you, Fauci and Gates, you both belong in Gitmo. Yep. You don't accept Chinese and Ukrainian money to enrich your family and sell out your country by accident. Biden's. And most importantly, you don't rig and steal elections by accident. There are 0 coincidences and nothing happens by accident. People need to understand that we witnessed real-time and well-coordinated and taxpayer dollar paid for treason from the Uniparty. Notice, not Republicans, not Democrats, the Uniparty. That is correct. They're both doing it. They both hate you and me, and they are both anti-American. The sad part about it is that this is just the literal tip of the iceberg. There must be complete accountability for America's sake, and we will not rest until this happens. You have my word. Guys, you got to remember, he was all of this, true. None of this happened by accident. This was all planned and coordinated. This was all done against the American people, you and I. The real question is, what are we going to do about it? We can't just tolerate the status quo anymore. It's leading to the downfall of the country that we love and hold dear. Our culture is crumbling. Shell says, amen, Steve. Yes, that was one of the most well-written posts I have seen on X in a very long time. Eric Daughtry, chilling footage is resurfacing of Biden officials Jen Psaki and Alejandro Mayorkas bragging about the program to bring in tens of thousands of Afghans after the botched withdrawal in 2021.
Reassurances can you make about the screening process and the attempts to make sure that somebody like that doesn't make his or her way here?
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process.
Oh, really?
You're referring to what we termed Operation Allies Welcome, a program that we are very proud of, that we instituted to provide refuge for individuals, many of whom...
Will you be reviewing those they came in on parole? Will you be reviewing them on a case-by-case basis?
We reviewed them on a case-by-case basis, and when those parole periods are subject to renewal, we will do so.
It certainly is. Operation Allies Welcome, which we led in a coordinated effort across the government, is a great source of pride for us.
Oh, is it? Is it now? You heard it. You heard it straight from the former Homeland Security Secretary's mouth. They take pride in this program. Kara says Stephen Miller has been providing the receipts for all of us as well. Yep. It's doing great work, guys. But you heard, they take pride in this program. Well, now, because of the outcome, hey, Artemisia, welcome and thank you. I'm not that beautiful, but I do try. Welcome to the chat again, Artemisia. It's always a pleasure to see you. Caroline Levitt here in a fallout from something we'll be covering here shortly. U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services are going to re-examine every green card from countries of concern. And I said, well, that's interesting, but how about no? No.
Nope.
Like, how about all of them? No exceptions, not countries of concern. We just need to hit a reset, start over, get rid of them all. It's the only way to be more sure. Denaturalize and deport all of them. That's it. Sadat says they needed those illegal Democrat Afghan refugees. They did. And they're using them usefully. What they just did in D.C. is exactly what they're here for. Voting in elections is exactly what they're here for. Stealing services, funneling money overseas. These are what the Democrats wanted these migrants for. We need it all to stop. Shell says, hey, Artie, you're a beautiful PD. Aww. Thank you. And then you got this, guys. This is real. Like, listen to this little clip, and you tell me why it is that you're always shamed whenever you try and talk about reality, whenever you try and talk about the actual situation and the damage that it's doing to our country. Why do they always try and shame you?
We do not have any obligation whatsoever to anyone to allow them entry into our country and to all of the benefits that offers. We don't have any obligation to do that. And quite frankly, it's asinine that we can't have a realistic policy conversation about how certain cultures are quite literally incompatible with ours.
Isn't that kind of asinine? Guys, like if you stand up and say this culture is incompatible with Western values, Western culture, with our Christian nation, if you try and say that these people are not compatible, well, you get called a racist, a bigot, an Islamophobe, an anti-Semite, whatever. I just don't care anymore. Call me whatever you want, guys. I'm tired of people being quiet because they're being shamed. No more. We need to talk about things that we're dealing with in reality. Sherry she's just saying what millions already know but aren't allowed to say out loud. Guys, we are supposed to have freedom of speech, and we need to wield that. Karen says, I'm blushing, Artie. Artie says, good, Karen, but you are beautiful. It's true, Karen. Keep it up. Got this one from James Woods. Short little clip, 25 seconds. Let's see what this fine individual that's not compatible has to say. I don't know what he's saying, but the quote there Says there's no better way to worship Allah than by killing an infidel. He's saying so while wielding a pistol and shouting at the top of his lungs. Let's see. Can Grok translate the video? Let's see. Video appears to be in Arabic based on analysis, audio, and subtitles. Here is a translated transcript. The companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings upon him, I do not hesitate, as said, he was a disbeliever who will dwell in hell forever. The Prophet gives good news to those who kill criminals, I guess would be infidels, and what worship is greater than spilling the blood of unbelievers? Excuse me. And they try and claim they're compatible with West. No, they're trying to conquer the West. They are being invited in to conquer the West. Literally, guys. And what worship is greater than spilling the blood of unbelievers? Guys, that's you and me. I do not believe in the Prophet Muhammad. Never will. They want us dead. And they proved it with the National Guard in D.C. They've proved it on many occasions. And yet we keep getting told and gaslit that no, they're the religion of peace, that they are tolerant, more tolerant than anybody, the most tolerant religion on earth, guys. Really? Interesting. Well, straight from their mouth, translated from Grok. So don't just believe what somebody wrote up there is the translation. This is the translation of the video. Remember that. And what worship is greater than spilling the blood of non-believers? How about to give one's life for a brother or a friend? Like, I kind of like that message better. That sounds like a better religion to me. I don't know. Then you got this one, guys. Today is the day, you effing dumbass white people, is what he said right before shooting at the police. Well, let's see. Let's watch the up close.
Four children. I have 4 children. Do not reach your gun.
Roger, if I can slow down. Units have to say slow down, 1421.
Hey, so listen, American. This is take it. I take this with you, okay?
So now you want to give me that?
Hey, no, you reach.
Huh. Listen here, you American. And then tries to shoot and kill 3 cops. Yeah, they're not compatible. Karen says, Denmark, this week they left off a father and a son for killing the daughter for being too westernized, and their defense was honor killing as part of their culture. Yeah, it is not compatible, guys. Honor killings are atrocious. They are evil. They are terrible. Also, I like the reference here in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, everybody. But here, from Dearborn to New York, one nation under Allah. It sounds like a threat to Americans.
Whoa, what's going on? I hear some move.
From Dearborn to New York, only one nation, under God.
Exquisite.
Huh. One nation. Buy a gun. Learn to use it. The message from James Wood himself. Very good advice. If you don't have one already, you should probably look into it. Then you got this one from Jeremy Hambley with the quartering. They're saying, oh, the U.S. has got to re-examine green cards issued from the 19 countries that are of concern. It says, no need to review. Just send them all back. This mirrors my beliefs from earlier. And you can see the 19 countries, guys: Afghanistan, Burma, Chad. Oh, poor Chad. The Republic of Congo. The Democratic Republic, the DRC. Yeah, anyways. The Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. How about just all of them, guys? I don't know what, you know what? They want to accuse us of discrimination. You know what? Fine. We'll just treat them all equally. All foreign visa holders that are here, just Send them all back. Start over. That way you can't be accused of discriminating against Muslims or against blacks or whites or browns or whatever. No, just deport them all. Start over. Hit the reset button. We kind of owe it to our citizens at this point, don't we? Just let the chips fall where they may. Then you got this one, Senator Mullen. Let's see what he has to say.
What their leverage points are, is Afghanistan using them? We have I say Afghan, we have Taliban is using them. Have they traveled back? We even have reports where people are traveling back to Afghanistan and coming back to the United States. If they leave and they're able to enter into Afghanistan, which is a Taliban-held country at this point, and able to get back out on their own, they're probably compromised. Joe.
Yeah. So they got here. They fled the Taliban. We let them in here like idiots, but we let them in here. Then we let them go back to Afghanistan that's under Taliban control. Taliban control, folks. Stay there for a little while and then freely come back. Guys, who's the bigger retard? Tim Walz or us at this point? Like, how can we keep letting this stuff happen? And then act surprised when things like the DC National Guard killing happens. Surprised when things explode. Surprised when people are murdered. Surprised when buildings are taken down. Why do we even act surprised when there's a call to prayer in American cities? Why? Refugees don't take vacations back to the countries they are fleeing. Yeah.
Nope.
No, they don't. If you fled because of fear of persecution, you're claiming asylum or refugee status, there's no way in fucking hell that you should be going back to that country and then freely returning. I don't care what your excuse is. That's crazy. And we're retarded for letting you do it. So that needs to stop. So let's see what this gentleman has to say. An Iraqi and Afghanistan veteran talking to Ilhan Omar.
I just got done listening to Ilhan Omar talk about how horrible and terrible and dirty and everything else that this country is. Denigrating this country, denigrating half of the people in it. This country has been very kind, benevolent, and gracious to her and countless others.
Yeah, it has.
We gave her asylum. We gave her a place to live. We gave her an education. We gave her a pathway to become a sitting United States congressman. But to me, it goes deeper than that. See, I'm an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran. I was 22 years old when those planes flew into those buildings, and me and thousands of other young men across this country answered the call to go over there and combat this evil that was on our shores, that had finally hit us.
And you know what? Thank you, sir, for your service.
And what we were told over and over again is that we go over there and we fight them over there, we will not have to fight them here.
Yeah, that is what they told us, isn't it? And then they invited them here openly with open arms. The Democrats betrayed us. The Republican establishment betrayed us. Betrayed those that went overseas and fought. Denaturalize and deport.
And now here we are. We're retired. We're out. We're ready to start pursuing a life of our own. And what does this country do to that enemy that we went over there and we fought to keep over there because that's what we were told? We kissed our families goodbye. I watched my wife cry while I got on that bus to go to the airport or go to the airfield. I watched my son cry because he didn't know if or when he was going to see me again. And then I come home. I've been retired for 8 years. And I come home and what are we seeing? We're seeing entire communities being taken over by the very people that we fought to keep off of our shores. Dearborn Mission is completely freaking taken over. Now we have mosques in Minnesota, Texas, Missouri, all over the country, promoting Sharia law. Do we really have to tell people that Sharia law is incompatible with the United States Constitution?
We shouldn't have to. That should be pretty obvious.
We were told that if we fought them over there, we would not have to fight them here. But what do we have?
Well, the military-industrial complex got to sell a lot of bombs. That's what we have. That's it. The enemies of the people made a lot of money because the Fed printed it and gave it to them to buy bombs to drop over there as part of a big lie. And then they wonder why us patriots are mad. And then they wonder why things are escalating. Speaking of, I'll just play the video.
تا وقتی که انشاءالله این کاخ سفید را حسینیه نکنیم فریادمون همین است که
So if you can't read the subtitles, let me make it bigger so you can read them. Until we turn the White House into an Islamic center,
تا وقتی که انشاءالله این کاخ سفید را حسینیه نکنیم فریاد
we will all continue to shout,
خودمون همین است که مرگ
death to America.
بر آمریکا.
These are the people. Marcus says 6 seals, part 6 of the 6th seal of Revelation. Marcus, I will check that out after the stream. I probably won't just blindly pull that up during the stream. Maybe the after YouTube section. I'll try and, if you're still in the audience at that point, please repost that. Or if one of the other people in the chat can repost that same link later, I would appreciate it because I will lose track of it in the chat. Or you know what? Here. Let me just open it and I'll throw it at the end. And if I can get to it, I'll get to it. How long is this?
A nation isn't just built.
I don't need to go to an ad for Chevron.
It's powered. This year, Chevron is investing
No one cares,
$9
Chevron.
billion.
Radical jihadists are not done.
Oh, that's also an ad. Oh, okay.
Iran promises death to America.
Give me a second, folks. I'm trying to get through this. Oh, stop opening the... It's not... I get it. It's an ad. Skip. Oh, this is a 15-minute video. I don't know if I'll get to this, but I'll watch it after the stream for sure. Thank you, Marcus, for the link. But guys, these are the people, right? These. Death to America. These people. As Carrot says, people, please repost the live stream. Everybody, thank you for your attention on this matter. Thank you, Karen, for the reminder. And yes, people, please repost the live out to as many people as you can. I would appreciate your support. We're going to move on from there and get into our stories about DC. Got to remember, guys, this is an escalation. This is what they wanted. You know how you know they wanted it? Well, this is not the B, guys. The left labeled Charlie Kirk a fascist, and he got shot. They labeled the National Guard deployment fascist. It wasn't hard to guess what would come next. And Elon Musk follows that by saying falsely labeling nonviolent people as fascist or Nazi should be treated as incitement to murder. I agree. Because they know the end result of this rhetoric. This is a call to action. This is a call to violence. Can't be tolerated, folks. You got this one, habitual line crosser. The shooter in D.C. needs to be charged and his family sent back overseas. I participated in this blunder that was Operation Allies Welcome under the Biden administration. I watched them walk off the installation. I was told that I was being unreasonable when I say the CBP should be sitting at the gate and send them back. I was then politely asked to leave the meeting. I met thousands of people who didn't want to assimilate and had no plan to. They shit in the ground next to the port of John's that we spent tens of thousands of dollars to keep clean. They stole from each other and fashioned weapons. They gave fake names every time they showed up for processing. I watched my nation hemorrhage $1 million a week on these people who don't give a fuck and just wanted a free ride. I begged BG Harrison and CSM Calvo to raise the red flag that this isn't effective. I was told to shut up and color. Fuck those fucks we brought here. Some are good, no lie, but protect yourself and your family from the rest. Stay strapped. Apologize for the language, guys, but this is a direct quote from the habitual line crosser. Yes. Habitual lie crosser down below, it says, how does it feel to finally speak out? He responds, on one hand, great. On the other hand, I am ashamed that I had to stay silent. Kara says, I was in tears when I read they volunteered shortly after training to allow guardsmen to go home for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Yeah, the people that stepped up, the people that were shot, they stepped up to volunteer so others could go home. Got this one, effective immediately. This is the USCIS, Customs and Immigration Services, effective immediately. Processing of all immigration requests related to Afghan nationals is stopped indefinitely pending further review of security and vetting protocols. The protection and safety of our homeland and the American people remains our singular focus and mission, guys. Yes, the Department of Homeland Security should focus on the security of the homeland. Kara says they were both just kids, too. Yes, very low 20s, guys. They were children. But you know what? They were the men and women in uniform that stepped up to protect us. They deserve our respect. They deserve our condolences and our prayers, as do their families. This was the update. There was confusing information going back and forth on Wednesday when this happened. There was first word that they had both died. Then there was word that they both might have lived. Now, this was the update that we had. There was two. They made it through surgery, and their families are with them at the hospital. This was the last update that we had. But then, unfortunately, we had another update. And that update was chilling. It was that U.S. Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom was dead. She didn't deserve this. Even though if you look at X and you look on the news right now, they're doing nothing but making excuses for the murderer, for the crazed migrant who shot these people for no reason other than being present in uniform. They're blaming Trump. They're blaming these men and women in uniform for being in uniform on our streets. It's despicable. It's disgusting. And it can't be tolerated. We need to shame every legislator, every public person that comes out on X, that dares to come out in public. Shame them. Shame them mercilessly, because that's what they do. That's what they deserve. Shell says, it makes me so angry and sad. Shell says, just a baby. She had her whole life ahead of her. She should still be here. Yes, many of them should. Gardner here puts, everyone stay alert no matter where you are. There are dark forces that hate our country, and they are at war with us, even if we don't admit it. Well, guys, on this show, I will admit it. They have started a war many years ago, and we didn't want to acknowledge it. As the left waged war, as a foreign culture waged war on us, as communists waged a color revolution, as Muslims waged an invasion. Well, no more. We should all publicly acknowledge it. We should all shout it from the rooftops and say it for what it is. Karen says the young man that was shot, his family has come out saying that they are not participating in any of the GoFundMes. I'm sure somebody is going to try and scam a bunch of people because of this, and they should just be taken care of. The people that try and profit and scam off tragedy like this should be removed from society. They should be shamed. They should be exiled. They should not be allowed to stay here. Do that anywhere else but here. We need to have higher standards than that. So what we do know about the shooter, he was an illegal from Afghanistan, overstayed a visa granted to him under Operation Allies Welcome. 29 years old, last known address, Washington State. traveled thousands of miles. Karen says tar and feather them. Seems like a reasonable alternative. Nick Sortor calling for, and I agree, execute him and make it public. Public execution needs to make a comeback, guys. That's it. That's the whole message. We need to shame and ridicule. We need to bring back public execution. We need to do a lot of things. This and no further. This and rewinding the progress that the progressives have made that is against the values of the United States. This response, guys, reporters, I warned you, they are trying to make excuses. They are trying to question the narrative of the not left. Well, listen to what Trump had to say about it.
Why do you blame the Biden administration?
Because they let him in. Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person?
Yes. Why would we blame the Biden administration for admitting a person under a program during their administration? I think the reporter is dumb. I think the reporter is also probably at least a little bit evil.
Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person. And there's a law passed that it's almost impossible not to get them out. You can't get them out once they come in. And they
bet. Challenge accepted.
Came in, and they were unvetted, they were unchecked, there were many of them, and they came in on big planes, and it was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible not to let them in, not to certify them.
Hey, I have an idea. Since the left likes to play this game, how about we find one conservative-leaning federal judge that rules that law is illegal and throws it out, therefore enabling all of us to just deport all of them. Play the same game. Play by their rules. They want to pull this crap with the one federal judge overriding everything. We could play that game too. Find one judge that's willing to make a ruling. One judge to say that law is illegal. One judge to overrule them all like they like to. And then deport every last one of them.
To speak, once they come in. And they came in, and they shouldn't have come in. And frankly, the whole thing was a mess. The whole Afghanistan situation was a mess. It should have never taken place. If we're going to go out, and we would have gone out because I had everybody ready to go. We were going to go out with strength and dignity and precision. And we would have left from Bagram. And we would have kept Bagram, by the way, because of its very close relationship to China and where they make their missiles. But when you let the people come in by the thousands and thousands and thousands, they made a terrible mistake. But
yeah. Kara says, I'm happy you got this clip. Trump set the record straight. Go President Trump. Artemisia, LOL. I love Trump. Shell says, don't choke. Thank you for your concern. I almost did. I was taking a drink when he said that. I almost choked. How many people do we have on those C5s and how many do we fly? It's a good question. Thousands and thousands, though. If another example of a failure of Congress, they should be approving all of Trump's judicial nominees. Yes, they should. But instead, the legislature stonewalled him and they blocked him. Instead, they stayed in session so that Trump couldn't make recess appointments. The uniparty is our enemy. Both sides of it. The sewer that is DC is our enemy. The same as these incompatible migrants are our enemies. So is the uniparty. And I'm not even afraid to say that, guys. The uniparty is the enemy of the United States. It is the enemy of her people, and it needs to be dismantled bit by bit. DC national terror suspect suffered, oh, look at the excuses already, guys. He suffered mental problems from fighting for a CIA-backed Zero unit. Don't care. I don't care. Kara says we have a walking corpse for a majority leader in the Senate. True. And Leader Thune is incompetent and evil. He's an obstructionist. Plain and simple. He's part of the uniparty, part of the sewer. He needs to be exiled. He needs to be publicly shamed as well. And as Matt Van Swal here points out, guys, Democrats are angrier at Trump stopping third world immigration than they are about the 2 members of the National Guard that were hunted down in our streets and shot in the head. Tells you all that you need to know. And you can see my comment there at the top. They hate America. That's all there is to it, guys. Full stop. That's it. That's it. Then you have here. This, in response, when this happened, Vance was making a speech on the tarmac, and what happened? 48, everyone.
By the White House just a couple of hours ago. And we're still learning everything. We still don't know the motive. There's a lot that we haven't yet figured out. But what we do know is that a couple of National Guardsmen were injured in the line of duty. And first of all, I want everybody who's a person of faith to say a prayer for those 2 National Guardsmen, that they're able to spend Thanksgiving with their families instead of losing their lives, because I understand they're still in pretty tough condition. But I think it's a somber reminder that soldiers, whether they're active duty, reserve, or National Guard, our soldiers are the sword and the shield of the United States of America.
Yes, they are, and they deserve our respect. Kara says they are losing their mind yesterday because they celebrated Thanksgiving at Alligator Alcatraz. Wonderful. Guys, this is now crime. We're going to talk a little bit about crime before we get into government that's full of crime. But we're going to start with just crime, repeat offenders, and all kinds of things. We had more follow-up. President of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, increased incarceration by 567%. The result was a 95% reduction in murder, the sharpest drop in El Salvador's history. Elon Musk points out if you imprison repeat violent offenders, they will no longer be able to repeat offending violently. It's so much common sense, guys. Take the repeat offenders and lock them up and keep them locked up. And then crime will go down. Like, hello? This meme I had to throw in here, guys. Planet of Memes, you can't jail your way out of crime. Says, want to bet? And it's not racist either, guys. It's just the way it is. Statistics show that the majority of violent crimes come from a very small percentage of people. Breaking 911 here. 2 disabled to get a job in order to collect EBT, but very capable of robbing a store. Got it.
God, it smells like pot around here, too.
Yeah, weird. Smells like drugs. They're able to pillage what looks like a Walgreens or a CVS, but they're too disabled to get a job. Somehow I think that pilfering a local store probably takes more effort than just going to get a damn job. So go get a job. Says for as long as they've tracked crime, blacks have been significantly more likely to commit it. It's not racist to acknowledge the reality of the statistics. Speaking of repeats, reposts the space. Thank you very much, Gardner. Gardner, welcome to the chat as well. Wonderful to see you as always, my friend. Yeah, the per capita stats, guys, gets you every time. P.S. That pumpkin cheesecake looked amazing. It did. Here's Mario. No, awful. The most uncomfortable fact in crime data. Violent crime is not random. Here's another very good write-up, and I'm going to read it in its entirety. So bear with me. Violent crime in the U.S. cities is not evenly spread, not culturally, not geographically, not mathematically. It's concentrated, absurdly concentrated in fractions of the population. This isn't ideology. It's decades of DOJ, police department, and academic, not Patriot data, police department and academic data all pointing to the same tiny cluster. About 0.5% of residents are linked to 50 to 70% of shootings. That is a ridiculous number. Most homicide suspects have 8 to 12 prior arrests. We've covered this before. And yet we have suspects that are committing murders that have 72 prior arrests, guys. 8 to 12 is the average. Victims usually know their attackers. Violence clusters block to block, not citywide. It blows apart the comfortable narrative that crime is vague, atmospheric force, that it just happens. Folks, it strips out the comforting "society has failed them" story and forces harsher questions. If 1% is driving the carnage, why is the entire system designed around treating it like a 100% problem? Why? Well, because it's easier to redesign a city than to confront the handful of people who are actually pulling the triggers. It's easier to blame society in general than acknowledging that a tiny network of repeat offenders is blowing holes in entire neighborhoods. Crime is driven by hyper small groups of chronic, high-risk individuals interacting with each other in micro geographies the rest of the city rarely sees. At some point, every major city will be forced to admit the truth. You don't need to fix everyone. You need to fix or isolate the 1% doing the damage. Source: DOJ, NIJ, Harvard, UCSB, Rutgers, Media, The New Yorker. Yeah. Why don't the progressives protest against that 1%? They're so busy being socialist and communist, arguing against the rich 1%. They don't seem to give a shit about the most violent 1% that is destroying and gutting their cities. Because the Democrats and the progressives want you terrified, because it's the easiest way to convince you that you should give them more money and more power. Well, you know what? No more. We need to look at the truth. The truth is, lock up the 1% and not the rich 1%. No, let them continue making jobs for people. Let them continue investing and growing their businesses. No, lock up the violent 1%. Sarah here, this is completely unacceptable. We have to make changes. Look at this. 72 prior arrests, set a girl on fire. 45 prior arrests, murdered a woman. 39 prior arrests, murdered a woman. 33 prior arrests, murdered a man. And 17 prior arrests, murdered a woman. Notice all of them are significantly higher than the 8 to 12 average. And notice they all appear to be white, probably, on their prison forms, because you can't trust the crime stats. They're bad enough even when they're full of lies. But we know the reality, folks. Yes, Gardner. Oh, wait. Welcome, Gardner. We always love when you show up. Yes, Karen, I told him to ship me a couple of pieces. If you're shipping pieces of pie, sir, I am more than willing to DM you my address. Shell from Karen, Shell, that why the fast timing is diabolical. Okay. Meet Anthony McCauley. Just announced he's running for school board in North Carolina. He has a rap sheet a mile long dating back to 98 and as recent as 2023. He wants to be in charge of your kids' education. Beware. Matt Van Swall, we need justice reform in North Carolina. This is ridiculous. My state has become a laughingstock and we must elect better people. We need better people to run for these seats. That's part of the problem. People, that is a big part of the problem. We don't have enough good people running for these offices. So what happens? They fill up with these scumbags. Do you really want this scumbag in charge of your children's education there in North Carolina? Artemisia says 33 arrests. These judges need to be jailed. Yes, these judges absolutely need to be thrown in prison. They need to be held accountable for the people that they are unleashing on society. It's crazy. This one, authorities say the man accused of pushing an off-duty New York PD officer onto the Manhattan subway tracks is a career criminal. Color me surprised. Who had recently been released under supervision after previously assaulting another person on the subway. A homeless man charged with attempted murder after pushing an NYPD officer onto the subway track. He doesn't look very homeless, looks fairly well dressed. Close your mouth, bro. You're going to start catching flies. It's a sign of low IQ. Just saying. Kara says, I will support you as always while I eat all of these leftovers. That's not very nice. You know we're fasting. Crispy says, I think I pooped 4 dozen deviled eggs today. Oh, bro. I also enjoyed many, probably close to at least a dozen deviled eggs myself. Well done. Deviled eggs are so good. I love them so much. I made sure to eat twice yesterday. I ate my normal full meal and I ate Thanksgiving dinner with dessert because I knew we were going into this fasting period. I might have splurged just a little bit. Matt Van Swell, can someone please give me any legitimate reason that DeCarlos Brown Jr., the man who murdered Irina Zarutska in cold blood in Charlotte, has had his death penalty hearing pushed back to next year? Seriously, why? We have it on video footage. What's going on? Well, guess what? As I pointed out here, guys, they want us to forget so that they can release him again. Never forget Irina. Never forget any of these murdered innocents. Guys, don't let these judges do it again and again. Lock up these judges yesterday. We need to either throw them in jail or under it. And that's the only solution, people. They are releasing monsters onto the street that are killing our women, our children, our daughters, our sons. And in response, they passed Irina's law. And you can see here that Charlotte, North Carolina officials are panicking. As the law takes effect in 4 days, it will explode the prison population. We are bracing for Monday, as you do when a hurricane storm is coming. Crazy, guys. Listen to this.
For Monday, as you do when there's a hurricane or a tragic storm that is coming.
Irina's law kicks in on December 1st.
Good. I want to see the outcome of Irina's law, and if it does what it is supposed to do, we need to make it a federal, nationwide policy. Kara says, I'm glad it's finally come to spotlight because it's been an issue in St. Louis for years. Artemisia also says, I'm an old school traditionalist with deviled eggs. That's allowed.
Lawmakers passed it after Irina Zarutska was murdered on the light rail train back in August.
I believe that the state legislators had a good intention.
Oh, I can't wait for this, Linda. Please, for the love of God and all that is holy, please tell me that this Linda is not about to actually make an excuse for monsters.
I believe that when they wrote the law, they were hearing from so many people who were horrified.
The massive bill addresses several topics. It limits a judge's power to release offenders accused of certain violent crimes.
Good.
The sheriff says that will increase a detention center population that is already near capacity.
Good.
Stack of bunks is where we have to put people on these bunk beds, and their families will call in and say they are sleeping on the floor.
Don't care. I honestly don't give 2 shits if a prisoner has to sleep on the floor. Artemisia says, listen, Linda.
County officials expect officer and magistrate workloads will increase.
Oh no, I'm going to have to work a little harder. Well, if it saves one citizen's life, eat nuts.
They say they'll have an idea. They'll see the impact of the full law in the next 3 months.
But I think by the time we get to the end of February,
oh, look at this, Linda.
Early March, where we are at that point is probably going to be pretty close to where we're going to be for the long haul.
Good. Build more prisons.
Irina's law adds funding for additional district attorneys. It does not add funding for anything else.
Don't care. Then you know what? Bury them.
We as a community have a very difficult job. We're forced to make some very difficult choices.
No, you're not. If they are murderers, bury them.
Moving forward with respect to our priorities.
Yeah, just remember, folks, their priorities in your cities are not you. Their priority is getting votes. Their priority is stealing elections. F them. Last story here in crime, guys. Gunther points out Border Patrol doing some work in Arizona seized 887 pounds of methamphetamine and 10 pounds of cocaine. That is a lot. The war on drugs is a literal war now, and I am here for it. And guys, we reach about the midpoint, probably a little after that. We've had a lot of stories up to this point, but please make sure to check out the profile. Please make sure, if you can, show your support. Join the community. Join our ongoing fast post-Thanksgiving if you wish. If not, just go in there and cheer us on. The two of us, at least, that are currently participating. We have posted our starting weights, and we are going to go for the long haul. So please at least show your support. Join the community there. Leave a tip if you can. Visit the website. Check out the live schedule. And repost the live, please. Help spread the word. I appreciate all of you and any support you can give us. Join the Patriot Dad community, and we will see you in there. This one, guys, government. Donald Trump had a couple of banger posts, guys. They're kind of long. Crispy says, I feel proud to have coined them as Linda's now. Yes, thank you very much for your contribution, Crispy. I'm glad I remembered. And I'm glad we could find a better name than Karen's because, you know what? We have a Karen in our community, and we love our Karen. Karen says, Artie, I sent him the Listen Linda video. Yeah. So, United States did not attend the G20 in South Africa because the South African government refuses to acknowledge or address the horrific human rights abuses endured by Afrikaners and the descendants of Dutch, French, and German settlers. To put it more bluntly, they are killing white people and randomly allowing their farms to be taken from them. Perhaps worst of all, the soon-to-be out-of-business New York Times and the fake news media won't issue a word against this genocide. That's why all the liars and pretenders in the radical left media are going to be out of business. At the conclusion of the G20, South Africa refused to hand off the G20 presidency to a senior rep from our U.S. Embassy who attended the closing ceremony. Therefore, at my direction, South Africa will not be receiving any invitation to the 2026 G20, which will be hosted in the great city of Miami, Florida next year. South Africa has demonstrated to the world that they are not a country worthy of membership anywhere. And we are going to stop all payments and subsidies to them effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Guys, this is what I voted for. Hold these morons accountable. These countries that refuse to call out and stop the anti-white hatred and genocide, fuck them. Let them burn. Let them starve. I don't care anymore. You hate us. I don't care about you anymore. South Africa, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to continue these radical anti-white policies, can vanish from the face of the earth. And I care not. We already have your best and brightest. Elon is now an American. Go F off. President Trump says that he may totally eliminate the federal income tax. Remember when he played the video for the South African president that was top tier trolling? Yes, it was. That was wonderful, Karen. Artemisia says, yes, that was epic. Absolutely. President Trump eliminating the income tax. Well, you don't say. Well, he said that because of the income that they are getting, the revenue from tariffs, that they're considering it. What do you guys think? Which would you prefer? Federal income tax or tariffs? Definitely not both. As Being Libertarian here points out, not both. Which do you prefer? Let's do a 1 for income tax, 2 for tariffs. What do you guys think? 1 for income tax, 2 for tariffs. What do you guys think is the best path forward? I'm voting for number 2. And number 2 so hard it's not even funny. Because I'm tired of the federal government abusing the citizenry. And instead, you know what? Punish companies, punish people that want to do business overseas instead of in America. Elon Musk is my favorite African-American. Yes, the richest man on the planet is, in fact, an African-American, Karen. Artemisia says that he is my favorite. Shells votes for 2. 2 all the way from Crispy. I'll give you 2 horns for that. Phil says, get the note. MK with a 2 as well. I appreciate everyone's participation in the chat tonight. Let's see what other votes we can get in there. Get the note, Amy Klobuchar. Under President Trump, electricity prices are surging. Well, the strange thing, folks, look at the dates. Look at the dates on this graph. It's interesting that Amy Klobuchar, a member of Congress, is trying to blame Trump for this, but who was in charge? Oh, that's right. Thank you. Context. Joe Biden was president from January 20th of 2021 until January 20th of 2025. Also, the chart is not representing the cost of electricity. It is showing the average past due balances of Americans, which has soared. Yes, average overdue bill in the United States. Past due utility balances skyrocketing under Biden. But then Klobuchar wants to blame Trump. Get bent. 2, but I'm okay with a limited income tax. It just needs to have incredibly high limits and apply equally. I'm okay with a flat tax. If you're going to keep a tax, it should be flat. Got here, guys, this was a great news. This has to do with the auto pen scandal. Let's hear this video.
Read you exactly what he posted. He said, quote, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. He says the auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the President of the United States.
Yep.
He also says in that post, quote, I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden because the people who operated the auto pen did so illegally.
Oh, weird. You know, my favorite response to this was that Brian Krasenstein himself went on X and said, look, Trump uses it all the time. To which my response was, thank you, Brian, for acknowledging that Trump was using the auto pen. The problem with Biden's auto pen is that Biden was not the one using it most of the time. And there's no way to validate that he actually authorized it. So if that's not documented anywhere and there's no way to verify it, then it sounds like those uses would be illegal. So thank you, Brian, for helping us point out that Biden's use of the auto pen was mostly illegal.
He goes on to say in that post, Joe Biden was not involved in the auto pen process, and if he says he was, he'll be brought up on charges of perjury. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter. Of course,
this is the president that I voted for. This is the government that I want. This is the best presidency of my lifetime. Karen says, I accidentally participated in that as a gas company. I didn't update my credit card and I didn't notice it for months. Good job, Karen. Good job being one of those past due individuals. At this point, the way that the government colludes with a lot of the utility companies, I don't even really feel that bad for it. But here you have Tim Pool comment about it from the redhead libertarian. This is the best, Tim. Let's see what she's talking about.
Of mine, Your Honor, I have taken responsibility already before the Colorado bar who censured me, and I now take responsibility before this court and apologize to the people of Georgia.
Oh, Jenna Ellis. Did you now? You're going to cry a little crocodile tears and you think that I should feel bad for you. How about...
Nope.
Thank you.
You vile woman. I'm sorry, man. I am so pissed. I understand the fear you must have when the state, when the Democratic Party is coming to destroy your life in a political persecution and prosecution. But man, is this pathetic.
Yep.
And now again, charges all dropped. And of course, we're going to hear from liberals saying, oh, well, it's because Trump's president. Sure thing, huh? I imagine that if Jenna Ellis stood up and said, I did nothing wrong, Donald Trump did nothing wrong. It is the right of all Americans to seek a redress of grievances. Nay, it is the foundation of this nation. And if a person believes that they have been unjustly treated in our democratic electoral processes, it is not just a moral duty, it is our obligation as Americans to stand up and say, I object.
Yes. I absolutely agree, Tim.
And through a legal proceeding nonetheless. Now, if the illicit, subversive, and vile forces of the Democratic Party seek to attack and punish those who believe in this system, so be it. I will stand alone if no one else seeks to stand with me.
Oh, to be fair, Karen, you said I can't get over the beanie all year long. Have you seen a picture of him without it? Because if you have, you would understand why he wears the beanie. Because he's mostly bald. It's a very strange thing to observe.
But
Kara says, I'm still fighting over the late fee? That's wild.
Never will I bend my knee to corruption and lie, sacrificing others for personal benefit.
Yeah, F that.
That is what I truly believe. Burn it all down, cast me to the wolves, and throw me in the river. I will stand for what is true and just. But Jenna Ellis would not. She threw Trump under the bus. She threw everyone who spoke truth under the bus for herself because she feared what the machine would do.
Yep, I can't respect that. I just can't. You want to be like that? I have zero. I give 0 Fs about what happens to you. You want to be that low quality of a human being? Fine. You can be. You're well within your right to be that crap of a human being. But you know what? No sympathy from me. Especially when you keep finding out about more corruption and more nonsense like this, guys. Project Grant, awarding agency Department of Ag. Somali Bantu Community Association, $416,652. The purpose is the Somali Bantu Community Association of Maine's large standard grant project with the long-term goal of assisting limited resource Somali Bantu beginning farmers and ranchers in sustainable agriculture, production, and viable business ventures. In the fall of 2020, the organization began transition to a 104-acre farm in Wales, Maine, becoming the home of our community agriculture programs with a 99-year rolling lease. Government grant, folks. Your money, my money, used to support Somalis in Maine. So this little clip, finding out my taxes pay for a 100-acre Somali farm in Maine. You know the reference. You've seen it. You feel it. So we're funding a weed farm for Somalis in Maine. It's insane. Yes, it is. And you know what? Shell agrees. I agree. And then look at this one. How would it have looked if only men voted in the last election? Oh, that's music. Okay, well, we will skip to the end and I'll show you the results. 484 to 454 would be the electoral outcome, guys. But you know what? We're going to save this for the post-YouTube section so that I can play you the whole video, guys. We're going to get into science and tech. Falcon 9 is vertical. Pad 4 Echo, California, had ahead of today's launch of Transporter 15 rideshare. The 57-minute launch window opens. Guys, you can't tell me that this is not a wonder of modern science. Look at this insane payload adapter. All of the launch adapters. Also, they can release all of these satellites into a similar plane and orbit. All of them on one rocket that will land its booster back at the launch site. Instead of launching all of these on individual rockets, guys, you can't tell me that this is not a wonderful time to be alive when it comes to science, technology, and innovation. SpaceX and Elon are out there doing crazy things. Looks like Voltron or something. Love the reference. That was one of the first animes I ever watched as a kid. One of the best still of all time for the 5 robots combining into one mega robot, guys. Voltron is where it's at. SpaceX is accelerating rapidly. When Starship is launching several times a day within the next few years, SpaceX will be 99% of all Earth payload mass to orbit, even if the others triple their current rates. Yes. Yes, it will be. And I look forward to it. And you can see the advances. Guys, this is part of why Starship is also using Methalox. But look at the outcome difference. Now, granted, the thing I don't like about this image They picked a booster that has been to space and back many, many times. Not once, like the New Glenn there, but many times. That black soot builds up over time and over numerous uses. If I had to guess, that's probably one of the boosters that's been between 25 and 30 times to space. And it shows a little bit of soot on there, but you know what? It builds character. And then you have New Glenn in there looking nice and crispy. Artemisia says 30 times. Yeah, like I said, guys, not a fair apples to apples, but Methalox is cleaner burning than kerosene. Crispy says, trying to pay attention, but just ate some shepherd's pie my daughter's boyfriend made. Food coma. Crispy, I get this strange feeling like you keep bringing up food thinking it's going to impact my fast. It's not. Minimum 5 days. Unless I am in a hospital and they force feed me, I will be going and setting my personal record. I am supplementing salt this time. So I have a much better chance because the last time I had to stop my fast at 4.5 days because I was not doing salt properly. So Kara says, crispy shepherd's pie the day after Thanksgiving. Wow. Truly an American, folks. Gluttony after gluttony. Only the best. And then we're going to get into the Boring Company, another one of Elon's companies doing amazing things. The Boring Company just made tunnels cheaper than highways. Mario here, U.S. cities pay $1.4 billion per mile for tunnels. New York's tunnel, $4 billion a mile. The Boring Company does it for $10 million. Future target is $4 million per mile. They're building tunnels 140 times cheaper than the urban average, and they've even beaten the cost of building highways above ground. Cities have been locked out of subway expansion for decades because the tunnel costs are insane. $2.5 billion a mile means politicians can't justify it, so traffic gets worse. Elon's pitch? Buildings are three-dimensional. Transport needs to be three-dimensional to solve congestion. Many layers of tunnels underground to match the many floors above. The play, if Boring hits $4 million per mile target, every major city can afford multi-layer tunnel networks. Traffic becomes a solvable problem, not in 50 years, in the next decade. Las Vegas already has a functioning loop. Miami, Austin, and others are next. Welcome to infrastructure that actually gets built. Guys, amazing. Great on the salt. It is a must. Yes, thank you very much, MK. I learned that lesson the hard way. Ola Kara says, now I'm pondering if I should make it with the leftover turkey and everything else. Karen, go for it. By all means, have at it. I just will not be partaking. Shell says, do it, Karen, and we will live vicariously through you. That is correct. Because until somebody else joins, Shell and I are the only ones in the community currently signed up to do the fast. I need more of you to share the live stream, and I need more of you to join the community. I need you guys to participate. Motivate each other. Motivate us. Show your support, guys. And any way you can, whether it's free subscription on YouTube, Rumble, and following me on X, join my community and just give some good, positive vibes. And stop talking about delicious food, for God's sake. I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want to do. Karen says, in addition to memes, send PD pictures of all of your food. I guess I asked for that, didn't I? That's okay. 201, let's go. Yes, guys, let's set it out, guys. Also, that is a terrible and a great idea at the same time. If you want to post all your pictures, it's not going to impact my willpower. Got here the Office of Nuclear Energy. Nuclear 101, heat pipe reactors rely on long, thin heat tubes to transfer heat. Think about how your CPU cooler works away from a reactor without any pumps or moving parts. The heat from the core evaporates a working fluid, typically liquid sodium, inside the pipes. Okay. That sounds wonderful. This is so old and outdated. Aneutronic fusion was in 66. I don't think that's right. That doesn't sound right at all. You got this one, Nuclear 101. Fast reactors are use fast-moving neutrons, not thermal, but fast. To make better use of nuclear fuel, they can operate on both fissile materials and recycled fuel from other reactors to drastically reduce waste, increasing the performance of nuclear plants. Here's how they work. Let's just watch it real quick, guys. We will watch it at the end because, damn it, they have music. Karen says my sister just asked why I'm laughing. I bet she did. It's all about the rods from Artemisia. You're not wrong. You are not wrong at all, but we're going to move that to post YouTube, folks. I had my post nucleate boiling, nuclear. Yes, nuclear, not nuclear, not nuclear, just nuclear. That's right. I'm supporting, but I can't put down the leftovers. That's okay, Crispy. I appreciate it. This was my post from earlier directed at the Department of Energy and the Office of Nuclear Power. The nuclear industry is not growing fast enough. The linear no threshold theory is wrong, and all policy spawning from it should be eliminated immediately. We need to spread the word and change policy yesterday. Here's a nice simplified diagram of how a nuclear reactor works. A very basic diagram. This is from like the 80s or 70s, guys. But it's nice and animated. I like it. Look at that. Such a great model, guys. That's literally how they work. We need to do it. Says they're not building them fast enough. We'll build them faster. Remove all of this legislation and policy that was based on the completely incorrect no threshold theory. And also, check out Kyle Hill's video he did on this. If someone can find it, go ahead and throw that in the chat also so that you can watch that video after the stream, guys. Kyle Hill's mini documentary he did on the no threshold theory. The linear no threshold theory is wonderful. Dr. Meganaught says, do we have a Venn diagram? I prefer those. They are pretty nice, but I do not at the moment have a Venn diagram. Karen says we lost West Virginia. That's true. Because anytime we talk about nuclear, West Virginia is out. That's okay, though. Crispy, nuclear is the future. We just need to get on board with legislation to get it through and get rid of existing regulations and rules that are based on this very flawed and wrong theory. Hank Hill's son. Who's that? Also, just don't forget, I was in the nuclear industry for 19 fucking years. Guys, like, I get it. Oh, no, sorry. Let's see. 14 years. Sorry, 14 years I was directly in the nuclear industry. Wonderful time. Loved it. Every minute of it. West Virginia says, yep. Hey, welcome. Glad to see you're still in the chat. We are moving on, West Virginia, to Thanksgiving. I am not in West Virginia anymore, Dr. Meganauts. Not anymore. If you look at my profile, you will see that I am no longer in West Virginia. I am now in Northern Virginia, directly adjacent to the Panhandle. We got here, guys. Woke college student wants to cancel. These woke students want to cancel Thanksgiving for being racist and name it the Food and Family Day. Let's listen to this drivel brought to us by Caitlin Bennett on the ground reporting.
Do I think Thanksgiving is an offensive holiday? Yes.
It's a holiday that's commemorating the genocide of Native people.
Is it?
We still deal with the scars of this today.
It wasn't our land to take. We took.
I'm sorry. I don't think this Linda understands how conquering something works. You don't need a right to take it. Turns out might is right at that point, and you take it by force and you win the fight. That gives you the right to it. Yeah, that's how that works.
Took it, and we're celebrating that we took it from other people who lived there first.
That's actually not what Thanksgiving is celebrating at all. I don't know what crazy progressive dingbat teacher told you that, but maybe you should ask for a refund on your education because you're a little retarded on this one.
I think it's not nice.
Is that what Thanksgiving is about?
Yeah.
The idea of celebrating, it just like glorifies the like smallpox blankets and other things we did to like just.
No. Not even a little bit.
Just completely eradicate the Native American.
I think we should, like you said, like rename it.
What would you choose to rename it?
Food and Family Day.
I'm sorry. What? Artemisia with a STFU, stop living in the past. It's about sharing food with friends and family. Unity, being thankful for something. Sharing, breaking bread with others.
Blue checkmark liberals on Twitter have been saying Thanksgiving is offensive. You shouldn't celebrate it. Well, we're here at Rutgers University to see if the student body agrees with that. Let's see what they think.
Oh, and of course we got to throw some music in there. Let's go skip up to.
Okay, real quick. Yeah. So, do you think Thanksgiving is an offensive holiday to celebrate?
I think that it's not intended to be offensive, but if you know the story, it is. And
on behalf of white people, I apologize to the world for white women. The progressive white women, guys, are awful. Angry, white, female, urban, liberals, literally spells awful. I apologize on behalf of whites. I'm sorry for what we've done by unleashing liberal white women on you. She's a great journalist. Yeah, Caitlin Bennett's out there doing some great work. If you could imagine a 30-year-old version of both historical Helen Keller and Anne Frank, which one would you bang and why? Can it be both?
I think what's more offensive is the fact that we teach little kids in schools like a surface level story that isn't true.
Oh, yes, really. Do tell us what's real, what's true.
That I think is so much more offensive to, I'm not Native American, but if I was, I would be really offended.
Oh, yes, the old liberal white woman trick. We like to be offended for others when they're not themselves offended. Just look at Native Patriots post. Tired of hearing what offends them, yes.
And why? It's not my job to speak for Native American people.
No, it's not. It's not your job to speak for anybody but your fucking self. So shut up, please.
But I would rather not offend anybody.
I don't give a shit if I offend somebody. Because I just live in reality. I speak about truth. I don't give a shit whose feelings it hurts.
Because there's no risk, you know what I'm saying? To just like reject it.
There is. It's the degradation of our culture. So no.
So we maybe not to offend people, we should reject Thanksgiving? No.
Yes, Native Patriot. Maurice. Yes, his commentary on this holiday is hilarious today on X. So you have an actual Native or this progressive awful.
Honest, okay, I phrased it badly, but at least
Karen. Helen Keller is one of the greatest psyops of all time.
Not teach little kids that the Pilgrims and Native Americans were best friends and treated.
You know, the Pilgrims and some of the Native Americans got along well. Just like a lot of white settlers and some of the natives got along well. Just like some of the natives got along with other natives, but most didn't. Most of them warred with each other. Most of them butchered each other. The native population was not a monolithic entity. They did not all belong to the same tribe. They did not all have the same feelings and values. They did not all get along and sing Kumbaya. They were butchering each other for untold years. Untold numbers of years. I used to follow him before my account got banned. Well, it happens. Well, it wasn't like the Disney movies. That is for damn truth, Karen.
Each other well, because that's not what happens.
Can you show the camera your shirt?
Cool. Yeah, this is from the Pride Parade.
Something about gay, transgender, bisexual, lesbian, queer, intersex, straight, Jewish. Does that spell anything? GTBL? Nope. Straight Jewish. What? Wrong button. She is mentally ill.
Last summer, June 30th, it was the anniversary of...
Why are we listening to a mentally ill person?
Of the Stonewall riots, and it was an epic parade.
Epic, okay. Oh, I'm sure it was. Do you think Thanksgiving and all of its history and what it started as, do you think we should be celebrating it based on its history?
I think that...
Why did that look so painful for him to think? He's like, I think that...
Thanksgiving is currently an institution in American culture, and I think that its immediate effects are nice and good, But I also think that every time that we have it, we should always consider the fact that the Native Americans are a people that we have kind of misrepresented as being okay with it or being
Okay, tell us how they should feel about it.
happy about it during this like time in our holidays.
So you don't.
I'm sure the tribes that got along with the Pilgrims are just fine with it. I'm sure the tribes that were on the losing end of that probably aren't. Like, keeping it 1,000. I bet every Native American is not okay with Thanksgiving. Don't care. Dr. Mega says, hey, anyways, bro, it's the Jews that sow all the division. They start all the little contrarian orgs and they gather minorities and others to join. And then when the shit hits the fan, the Jews blame the minorities. Look, man, like, I just don't care about the argument that it's always the Jews. I don't. There's more to everything than it's just the Jews. Do they have an outsized influence on culture and on things? Yes. Do I like their interfering in U.S. politics? No. But I also don't like anyone else's interference in U.S. politics. If you're not from here, just stay out of it. Says exactly, Dr. Gold. That's why I thought it was hilarious, the last line on her shirt. Yeah. Yep, very much so. Very much so. But yeah, guys. Caitlin Bennett out there doing great work. More stories on Thanksgiving, though. This is a long one. It's going to take a few minutes. Very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all the great American citizens and patriots that have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at, along with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration. The official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people per the census. And you know that's not 100% accurate. That's just the census, most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels. They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card will get roughly $50,000 in yearly benefits for their family. The real migrant population is much higher. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II. Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits, etc. As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as their wonderful people stay locked in their apartments or houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman, congresswoman in our history, Ilhan Omar, also wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came into the U.S. illegally, and that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, how badly she is treated when her place of origin is a decadent, backwards, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. Even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. systems to fully recover and terminate all of the millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens for our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. These goals will be pursued with the aim to achieve a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here long. Yep. Let's see. We have some comments, but you're refusing. But you're focusing on the end result and saying, don't worry about the people and the government that start it. I'm not saying don't worry about them. I'm just saying it's not everything. But they do have a very outsized impact. I agree with you. Kara says it could be as high as 100 million, which is absolutely insane, especially in a country of like 350 million. That is way too many. I merely pointed out your lack of logic or logical thinking. You're blaming the liberals and blah, blah, but the system are people that encouraged it. You're sitting here and rag on other, but your thinking is flawed unless you want clicks rather than fixing the issue. Aloha Snack Bar. We can get rid of this in one fell swoop. Do it. Yeah, Doc. I'm not saying ignore the source of the problem. I'm just saying they're not the only source of our problems. And if you have any more links and you want to show any more evidence or any arguments to the other, like, feel free to put them in the chat, my guy. We will go over them. JD Vance says, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I'm grateful for all of you, for the people who keep us safe, I'm assuming, for our incredible country, and most of all, for the grace of God and my beautiful family. Don't eat too much. Oh, yes, Crispy. Don't eat too much. Hegseth, also on the mess deck, serving Thanksgiving dinner.
Serving some Thanksgiving meals here. And it's mandatory turkey. Mandatory. All right, so all the moms and dads out there, your kids get turkey whether they want it or not. You want that?
Because we know they don't.
All right, let's keep going, giving out generous portions.
It's like Halloween. That's what you
A little bit more? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I give out too much candy at Halloween and too much turkey on Thanksgiving. Hey, this is not, it's a high-speed operation here, baby.
Together.
It's a high
Oh, guys, he's serving our troops. That's wonderful. Also, we have this wonderful meme. This meme is the meme template that just keeps on giving. So you're going to celebrate Thanksgiving on stolen land? Conquered land. Excuse me. Please make sure you are correct and accurate. And this is crispy today and yesterday and probably for many days to come, guys. After finishing Thanksgiving dinner, I'm too weak. I won't block you. Don't worry. I won't block you. I don't block people in the chat. I don't. I have no issue interacting with people. Send me things on X. Send me things. Yeah. Send me messages. I'll read them. 5 seconds later when someone brings out the pie. Yes. There is an entirely other stomach for desserts, folks. We all know this. We all know this. Office of the First Lady posted this one on Monday. The First Lady welcomed the 2025 Christmas tree to the White House. Now, this was before Thanksgiving, so they better not have put it up before. We just put ours up today, in fact, because it is now after Thanksgiving. But it's good to see that she's out there with grace, receiving the tree. A real tree, folks. Also, this one in culture, folks. Isn't it a mystery, as pointed out to us by AKA here? Why do Haitians risk sailing 900 kilometers in shark-infested waters towards the evils of capitalism when they have a socialist paradise just 90 kilometers away? 1/10 of the journey, folks. Why wouldn't they seek the wonderful utopia that is socialism instead of going the 10 times further to capitalism, the evil capitalists? I don't know. Maybe it makes you think that it's not so bad compared to socialism. I don't know. So let's get into it. Name the headline and your takes. Do you have that one in a Venn diagram? Which one? Be more specific, please. The delay in the chat makes it difficult. If you don't provide a reference to the thing you're discussing, it makes it very hard. For free stuff. That's right, Crispy. For free stuff. Got here, Derek Evans, one of my favorite J6ers. Liberal women divorce their husbands and only let them see their children a few times a month if you're lucky. Then they scream about how ICE is hurting families. Isn't that strange? Seems like a little bit of a double standard, but again, we all know that if progressives didn't have double standards, they would have no standards at all. Just saying. Then he also got this. Nothing else matters if birth rates far, far below replacement. The U.S. birth rate has been below minimum sustainable levels for about 50 years. Below 2.0, guys. That is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Karen says, well, you should look at the history. The Cubans most certainly don't like the Haitians. Also true. Same with the Dominicans. Yeah, guys, the Dominican Republic is in the same island as Haiti. It's divided right down the middle. It's interesting that the Haitians aren't allowed in the DR. It's their own neighbor, connected by land. Should make you ask some questions. What's my take on the seditious six? Prison and or exile. Or lynching, as far as I care. If you want to undermine our military and good order and discipline, like, kick rocks. Civilizational suicide. Yeah, guys, look at the increase in migrant populations in all of these Western European countries. Started off fairly low. Switzerland was actually kind of high, but ended much higher. Look further down here, guys. Norway, 4%, now 18%. Germany, 8%, now almost 20%. Belgium, Sweden, 9%, now 20 and 21%. Guys, migrant population by percentage share is way too large. This is an invasion. They just repeated the oath that we had to sign, legal and illegal orders, except that you are to assume that orders are legal unless you have evidence to the contrary and it is proven otherwise. You are supposed to follow the law, follow the order, and then document your dissent. But you are required to follow them. Also, they just want to say that every order they disagree with is illegal and tell you to not follow them just because they don't like them. You are also swearing an oath to defend the country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I would argue that most of the progressives would fall under the latter category. So, kind of, but not really. Do you think it's worse to state a fact or to appoint Hegseth that raped a woman has a history of abuse? Well, is that just hearsay? Should we believe all women? Because I don't. And that has been proven to be the case because of people like the Duke Lacrosse accusers and many others that openly accuse and then are proven wrong. Where do those people go to get their reputations back? Just saying, where do they go? So unless there is hard evidence and they are convicted in a court of their peers, it's just hearsay, my guy. Sorry. Says they never were an illegal one or don't follow it. They just said in general. I mean, I agree. But when you make generalized statements like that and then the following day and following hours, you are posting constantly about things that you are declaring are illegal. Yeah. Kara says Pete is a horrible, honorable patriot. I don't know. I don't know what that means, Karen. Please clarify. I am full of shit. Okay, which part is me full of shit, my guy? Like you show me the proof. Show me the convictions. And I mean criminal convictions. You start throwing around accusations of sexual assault and rape. Show me the criminal convictions. And then I will gladly, just like with Trump or anyone else, come out and publicly condemn them. They will not have my support. Show me the criminal convictions. Kara says, I have no idea where horrible came from. I don't know either. Otto, maybe voice to text. Who knows? It tries to get you every time. Bilbo Baggett's, anyone else getting tired of a law-abiding citizen for a country that doesn't enforce its laws? Yeah, I kind of am getting a little tired of following the laws when the laws are so unequally applied. Two-tier justice does not work. It breaks everything down. If you watch a group of people getting away with literal murder and get released back onto the street, and then you have one minor infraction and they lock you up, That's two-tier justice. Doesn't work. Eventually, the people that follow the law are going to stop doing it. The consequences will not be good. They tossed out the Me Too thing way too much to have any credibility, so I don't buy it. Yeah, I agree, Sedan. Also, in case you forgot, I'm old enough to know that the hashtag sign started off by another name. So I just want to point out that their big anti-assault campaign was literally titled Pound Me Too. You can't make this shit up, guys. Getting into memes, this absolute mad lad. Guy lives next to the airport, painted on his roof to confuse passengers as they fly overhead. He lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He painted on his roof, "Welcome to Cleveland." Oh my gosh, this guy is the hero that we did not know we needed, but sorely deserved. You got this one, Politorican, always has good memes, guys. This one, "Don't shoot me, I'm retarded." I think he's telling the truth, sir. Oh, Politorican. Politorican is so good. You got this one from Rasmus, posted out, "But who's going to pick our crops?" Tesla, Juan Deere 3000. Yeah, it's just going to be a robot, guys. They're going to get robots to do the job. It's the natural progression of things. Automation will eventually replace labor. Dr. Meg says, "Get a call-in line." I mean, I could, but I don't need to right now. Maybe in the future I'll do a call-in show, but it's just not part of my current format. I interact with you guys in the chat. Yeah, guys, the Juan Deere 3000. It's coming. This one, guys, this is a good one. Said, "I have dirt on the Clintons." And then the tire hung itself. Oh, yeah. Get a call in line. You're making excuses and shilling that can't be refuted with a time delay. Look, like I said, put in your chat what you're trying to refute and then put links to the evidence. I will pull it up. There's a time delay built into multi-streaming. I'm not doing it intentionally. Bitch at restream.io if you don't like it. Like, I don't know what you want. You want me to spend 5 minutes on each topic and sit here with dead air while I wait for people to respond? Just do the work yourself and put a reference in your comment about what you're commenting on and then provide evidence. Saying that I'm shilling and can't be like, my guy, I'm shilling for what? I have no skin in the game. I have no horse in the race, or whatever you want to call it. I'm a single dad, patriot, like military veteran who's just trying to fucking make a living and trying to not have our country just fall to shit. Like, do the work. You have this one: signs of a stroke, twisted mouth, arm paralysis, incoherent speech. What incoherent speech, might I add? Oh, I love Microsoft Teams. That you might be having a stroke if you say something that ridiculous. Just like I've never heard a normal, coherent person make that kind of a statement. That's crazy. This one from Dr. Clown. Guys, how does it taste? It tastes like your mom. Oh my God. Oh. Wow. That's hilarious. I just can't. Also, this one, this is AI, guys. Just to be transparent, this is not really from the Macy's Day Parade. This is a satirical post by Autism Capital. And it's ICE chasing Dora the Explorer. And it's funny. You got this one, guys. A bullet may have someone's name on it, but a claymore is more of a to whom it may concern. So far, Shell, these are all memes that I pulled. But Thank you very much. Sedan, I'm glad you're enjoying the meme content. I'd still deflect. Stop making excuses. You're accusing me of doing the same thing. You're acting like a very progressive person. You don't know because you haven't tried to do the work. Do the work, Doc. Just saying. Instead of just throwing around names and making accusations and making excuses, how about you do what you're accusing me of doing? The iron law of projection, folks, on full display. Also, to whom it may concern. Wonderful, Claymore. This one from Dr. Clown also, the fact check true. This is also satire, guys. The evolution of Rachel Maddow. To be clear, the last picture is not Rachel Maddow. I don't think. I'm pretty sure that's Keith Olbermann. Just for transparency and clarity. Still funny because he looks like her way too much. Didn't complain about the delay. Says you're making excuses and it can't be refuted with the time delay. That sounds like you're complaining about the delay, but okay, we'll give you that. Fine. You don't care about the delay. I complain about my hypocrisy and lies. Okay. Hypocrite about what? Which lies? Even if I give you evidence proving he paid a rape claim, proving the officer and witnesses agree. Oh, somebody settled out of court and has a non-disclosure agreement because it's cheaper to make things go away than it is to fight them. That's not proof of a crime. Where is the criminal conviction? Do you know how many famous people pay people to shut the fuck up and make them sign non-disclosure agreements? That does not mean that they did the thing. It just means that it's cheaper to pay a small settlement than it is to go through the long court process and the public nonsense. Do you know how it works to deal with people that are famous? Read it all. Read what? I read your whole comment. Give me the evidence. Also, this one, guys, a lot of fun. I grew up, this used to put out little pulses of sound right before a phone call came in, because when your phone received a call and it pinged back to the tower, that frequency made these speakers make sound. And I remember because I'm old enough. Are you? I'm crying about 6 people that state a fact. Soldiers shouldn't follow illegal orders. That's an issue, but worse stuff. But worse stuff isn't, I'm assuming. It's the way that the rhetoric is being used. They are declaring, do not follow illegal orders. Sure, that is a statement of fact. You shouldn't follow illegal orders. But part of that process is, if you disagree with them, you document your disagreement and you fucking do them. Unless it involves murdering somebody or something irreversible, you do them. That's it. What's so different? Okay, just because a bunch of people come out and make an accusation, the people that come out of the woodworks when it comes to sexual assault allegations against famous people is well documented. And again, if any of it actually happened, please show me the criminal conviction. I stated that they are correct in saying that you should not follow an illegal order if it has irreversible consequences. Other than that, you do the thing and document your dissent with the order. You put it on record. That's it. That's how that process works. None of that was hypocritical. And when did they say this and was illegal, and then the soldiers this and that was illegal? No. They said, do not follow illegal orders. Sure. And then they came out and said murking drug boats and other things was illegal. Show me. I'm not like, sure, bud. You can keep saying whatever you want. You're probably just making everybody else in the audience irritated at this point. Give me the documents, my guy. Stop just saying stupid shit in the chat and give me the documents. We can talk about it instead of just, oh, this and that, making wild statements that are not supported with anything. They tell troops, go stick your neck out for us, and they will watch from the mansions. Yeah, Sadat. I don't know where he's getting at with all this. But guys, we're going to pull up some memes. We got some good contenders in here. We have some from West Virginia. Today, a bunch of them. All right, let me pull these up. All right, West Virginia's memes. Let's go. This is how you win elections and make the U.S. healthy again. Maha and MAGA. Yeah, it's definitely a better choice than not. Kara says, tell him to come over to X and have his conversation. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come over to X and have the conversation, my guy. Hillary Clinton ordered goons to hold me down while she licked my face. I have no proof, and I'll drop it if she files a lawsuit. Yeah, there you go, Crispy. You get them. Although be careful. You might suddenly want to harm yourself if you come out against the Clintons. Shell says, yep, I was going to say that too, Karen. Justice for Crispy. That's right, guys. Justice for Crispy. There are a lot of them now. Trump telling Biden refugees that they must go home. Nothing better when you watch Trump call a reporter ugly. Yeah, guys, it was so good. It's like, is she? Like, is she like objectively like a 3 or 4? She might be ugly. When your kids don't understand Thanksgiving, show them this. Oh, West Virginia. They're so good. They're so good. Thank you very much for those. We have some Karen memes. As always, these are going to be lit. Let's get these ones pulled up. When the turkey ain't the only thing getting baked this Thanksgiving. Oh. Kara says she was so sexy eating those hot wings. Good genes, so I hear. We got this one. We are going to free the shit out of you. This is typically how the U.S. military over the last few decades frees people. I don't know. I don't like it. How about this? What kind of racist shit is this? Oh, it's my page. This coming from Karen is hilarious. Oh, it's my page. My bad. Or this one. The illegal immigrant. Take the mask off. It's a voter. Yeah, turns out that's what they wanted them for. Or this, I don't live in the U.S., but I think, yeah, fuck off, don't care. Like, this is X now. The fact that they put country badges on everything is wonderful. Now I can just completely disregard 90% of the people on X that try and voice their opinion about U.S. politics because they're from random third world countries. I don't care. Or they're from Canada, which is almost worse. You got this one. Which version of Listen Linda time are you on? Well, let's see.
But I have to yell at you guys.
Listen, Linda. Or
you in timeout.
It's no excuses.
You supposed to be back in timeout. I didn't say get out. You in jail in timeout.
You in jail? That's crazy.
Well, let me tell you this, Linda.
Let me tell you this, Linda.
My name ain't Linda. So you sit right there in timeout, little bad little girl.
No, let me tell you something.
No, don't tell me.
If I wasn't here, I would surely take a day off.
Doctor, chill. I'll get to it in a second. You do not run my show. Just chill. We're enjoying some memes. We'll get back to it. Calm your tits. Jeez, you're needier than a liberal woman. Let's get some more memes, folks. I got that one already. Oh, I already got the don't shoot me, I'm retarded. Just bear with me a second. All right, guys. That was for Artie. Well, thank you for showing that. All right, Doc, let's see. I called you out on 2 topics where you focused on the lowest common denominator and the hypocrisy for not calling out the root. You're just doing mega slop and creating more division. No patriot detected. Because I don't say the things that make you happy, that makes me not a patriot. Yeah, your opinion means less and less to me, my guy. Like, that's crazy. Don't care. Because I support a president that is a better president than any other president in my lifetime does not mean that I blindly am an acolyte for the man. If and when he does things that are documented, just like his support of H-1B, which I am vehemently against, I think his take on that is retarded. I think his take on a lot of legal immigration is retarded. I don't support him in his views on that. I have no issue calling him out on that. I don't. Sorry it doesn't meet your expectations. But that's not my job. That can be an insta-block. It's cool. Expose your BS. I don't need a reply. Look, you don't set the pace of my show. And that's fine. Sure, pal, sure. Sounds like a liberal woman. Yeah, he kind of does, Shell. No. I'm almost done, buddy. Be patient. Be patient. Nope. Hey, buddy. What did I say? Good. Play with the kid, Patriot. I mean, I literally am. My kids are right here. That's fine. I also don't need parenting advice. Unless you have something constructive or productive to say, or you want to provide any evidence or links, like I'm literally going to stop caring about what you say. If you're not going to provide value to everybody else on the show, I don't care. Crispy with one. Ooh, last minute submission, Crispy. The threat has always been within. What is this supposed to be? You did not provide any facts or evidence. Go to X. Talk to my audience on X. I dare you. That's it. But Crispy, who is supposed to be the Elmo or the red thing? Like, who is that? But guys, we're gonna turn off YouTube. In fact, we're gonna turn off YouTube and Rumble. You want to participate in the chat? You want to participate in the remainder of the show? Come to X.